Hey, what is up guys? So we're going to be taking a look at the new Crystron Synchro cards coming out in Invasion of Venom. Now, this set is looking to be like a really good set. Like, there's so many new archetypes, there's new Clee support coming out. We'll go ahead and go over the Clee support and the other Crystron cards, but let's go ahead and go over the Synchros first, because I think that they are going to be like, you know, the cards that people want to take a look at. Because if the Synchros aren't good, why even play the deck, right? Unless the other monsters are really good too. But anyways, the Crystron Synchros. So, there's one that's level 4, one that's 5, one that's 9 right now for the Synchros. They don't require anything specific, so I'm not going to go ahead and go over that. Like, they require one tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters. Now, the level 9 one is a little bit different because it requires a tuner synchro, but it's really easy. You know, the 4 plus 5 equals 9. Really simple game mechanic right there. But anyways, the first one that we're going to be taking a look at is the water one. Well, they're all water, but they there's 4 and then 5 then 9. So basically, you combine both of them and then make like the Mechazord, right? So anyways, the Quandam his level is 4, and he's got 1800 attack, 2000 defense, 1 tuner, and 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Its first effect is during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. This is a quick effect, so you know, kind of like Formula, you can synchro on your opponent's turn. Really cool stuff. And the second effect is, if this Synchro Summon card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, target one Crystron monster in your graveyard, except for a Synchro monster special summon it. So, obviously there's some downsides with that, but, you know, nonetheless, it's got, both the effects are really good. You know, definitely viable in the game. Anyways, next up we have Crystron Metrix over here, and that's a level 5 water one. It's got 2500 attack and 1500 defense. It says, for the first effect, if this card is Synchro Summon, you can change all face-up special summon monsters your opponent controls to defense position. Really good stuff. And then in addition to that, if this card is Synchro Summon, is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target one Crystron monster in your graveyard except for Synchro monster and special summon it. So if you're going for like some big plays and your opponent disrupts them, you know, you have those access to potentially getting another card. And then and the boss monster, the level 9 one, which you basically combine both the small ones to make the red guy over here, which is the Crystron Phoenexion. That is the level 9 with 28 attack, and it requires tuner, synchro monster, and 1 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. But yeah, you just use 2 of them. The other 2 small ones, and you make this guy. And it says, if this card is Synchro Summon, you can banish all spell and trap cards your opponent controls and in their graveyard. If this Synchro Summon card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target one other monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That one doesn't have that effect where it has to be not only a Crystron card, but it can be also a Synchro, so you can go ahead and bring back like one of the small ones. That's a decent card. But I feel like the effect, yeah, it could be definitely used. Like if you're playing against certain decks and maybe, I don't know, you trap stun them, Danko Saka them, you just get rid of everything. That's really good. Also hits the cards in the graveyard, which is kind of nice, but I feel like for the most part, I mean, we have like Breakthrough Skill, and we have a few other cards that really can be utilized in Galaxy Cyclone. There's a lot of cards that still have lingering effects in the graveyard, but for the most part, you know, like Monarchs, I mean, yeah, there might be a few cards that they can banish and then re-add them, but they're going to re-add the banished cards anyways, and I feel like that can be kind of a downside, but it can kind of hurt some of the Monarch stuff because they can't banish some of the other stuff to summon their other stuff. So, for the most part, I think it's a decent card. I don't know if this archetype is going to be super strong as of right now. Those are the 3 synchros that we have announced. They could get some other support later down the line. But anyways, there's a new Clifford card coming out, and then there's other Crystron cards that we'll go ahead and go over. But yeah, I want to go over the Clee card first. A lot of you guys were like, wow, check out this card. Is it broken? What do you think of it? Alright, so let me read it first, and then I'll tell you guys my thoughts, and then you guys definitely can go ahead and go off in the comment sections and argue amongst yourself, is it broken? Okay, so anyways, we have the Clifford down. It's a normal trap card. It says special summon this card as an effect monster that's machine. It's got 1800 attack, 1000 defense. And if you do, for the rest of the turn, Clee, spell and trap cards you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. This card is not treated as a trap card. And the second effect, if summoned this way, this card can be treated as 3 tribute for this tribute summon of a Apocalypse monster. So, and it says the kanji for the card means shell freeze, as in computer freezing up. Alright, so in the TCG, you know, we have Towers ban. OCG definitely has a different ban list. So I feel like it's more viable, you know, using different ban lists. In addition to that, we also have like other things in the TCG that OCG doesn't have. But, you know, vice versa, right? But the thing is, like, 3 tributes, and it says Apocalypse monster, so that means like Towers. There's also the Sky Base, right? The Sky Base is like, Towers is much better. But I feel like maybe this is a hint saying, you know, in TCG, you know, to support them, you know, introducing us to Invasion of Venom, they want us to, you know, maybe play Cleese, they'll unban Towers. Maybe Towers even 1. But I feel like Towers to 2 would be like I don't think you should put Towers to 2 because you don't really need like 2. I feel like sometimes when you run one, what happens is they have like one card in their deck to get over it. And so like some decks, they have one out to towers, and then that's it. Like you can just, if you summon another one, they scoop it up. Like sometimes you summon one towers and you win the game. Back when, towers wasn't banned here in the TCG. But I feel like maybe this is not, they could keep towers banned. You guys know how Yu-Gi-Oh has been doing like their ban list. They ban a card, then come out with a card that's even better, but they still keep the other card banned, so you have to invest in the new stuff. So maybe this is a hint that there's going to be another like boss Cliffworth monster, because it does say it's just not a regular Clee, it's a the boss Clee. So you guys let me know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's going to be coming off the ban list? Personally, for towers, I feel like it can come off the ban list and it probably won't matter because they're going to come out with something that's more broken than towers anyways, and you know how broken Stratos is and they still ban that card, right? But nonetheless, let's go ahead and go over the other Crystron cards, because this is, of course, more than likely what you're going to be used to get out these cards. I know they don't require some very specific monsters, but yeah, let's go ahead and check out the smaller monsters, the chibi ones, to bring out the bosses. So all the Crystron at once, because you gotta go fast. So all this, like I said, as I mentioned, like in all my previous videos, if you guys want to read the full effects on all these, I'll link it down below in the description box, courtesy of Organization, one of the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh websites. No, I didn't get paid to sell out and say that, but they honestly are really good for news and stuff like that. Anyways, we have Crystron QLI. So it's a water, and this one's a tuner. It's 500 attack and defense, pretty bad, but it's a 1-for-1 target, so that's good. So anyways, the effect of him is you can only use this effect once per turn. The first effect is during your opponent's main or battle phase, you can special summon one non-tuner monster from your hand, but its effects are negated, and if you summon that monster, immediately after the effects resolves, synchro summon one machine type monster using that monster and this card only. So like it's like, you can't make these other things. It's a decent card, but it's during your opponent's main phase or battle phase. You can just be like, oh, I summoned this card, okay, and my turn. And then you're like, oh wait, hold on, psych, let me synchro into this, and then they can synchro. Like, these guys look like they want to like play during your opponent's turns. I would almost want to say, like, it reminds me of Cypher. Your opponent attacks, oh no, negate special. Oh, okay, next turn, you go off from there. But nonetheless, it's a decent little card. Next up, we have the Crystron Synchros. So this one's a water machine tuner, and the effect is that you can only use the effect of it once per turn. The first effect is during your opponent's main or battle phase, you can target one non-tuner monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but its effects are negated, and if you summon that monster, immediately after this effect, synchro summon one machine type monster using that summoned monster and this card only. These synchro materials are banished instead of being sent to the graveyard, so you can't get these cards back. Going back to like the other guys, these ones summon the Crystron monsters. Well, this one summons the first two summon a Crystron monster, and then this one summons like pretty much whatever you want. So you can see that like there are some downsides, so to speak, but there is that new card where it lets you like put it back into the deck that we went over like last week. But yeah, oh, by the way, it has 500 attack and defense just like the other one. It's not very good. This one over here has 500 attack, and this is the Presentator or whatever. It's a turtle, the Crystron turtle over here. So you can only use one of them, one of the Crystron turtle once per turn, and only once that turn. You can target one face-up card you control, destroy, and if you do, special summon one Crystron tuner monster from your deck, but you cannot special summon monsters from the extract for the rest of the turn except for machine type synchro monsters. Then you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon one synchro monster from your hand. A lot of the times when it's like from the hand, it's not as good. You need to special summon from the deck if you want to be like meta. But nonetheless, it does its job in the Crystron deck. Next up, we have the Smoker. So he's a level 3 with 1,000 attack. So he's a little bit beefier here. The other one, the turtle, actually had 2,000 defense, but setting monsters in this day and age not really a viable option. So you can only use its effect once per turn. Only once that turn, you can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and then you can just special summon one Crystron tuner monster from your deck, but you can't special summon from the extra for the rest of the turn except for basically machine type synchro monsters. You can banish this card from your graveyard to add one Crystron spell and trap card from your deck. This is what like a deck needs. It needs to special summon from the deck, and then be able to banish it, add free stuff, and then also be immune to everything. That's what like decks need now if you want to be viable in the game. Or like when it's destroyed, just special summon like 69 monsters. That's like the effects that, like I said, like Yu-Gi-Oh is being power crept really hard right now. So next up we have the Crystron Synchros. So you can only use one effect per turn, and only once that turn. It's got 1,500 attack and defense. You can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and then you can special summon a Crystron tuner monster from your deck, but you can't special summon from the extra except for machine type monsters that are synchros. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard to add one Crystron monster from your deck to your hand except for itself. Then we have the Azneyes. So this one's got 1,800. You can only use one Crystron Rosenik's effect once per turn, only once that turn. You can target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you use special summon one Crystron tuner monster from your deck, but you can't special summon from the extra except for machine-type synchro monsters. You can banish from the graveyard to special summon one Crystron token that's got level 1, it's got 0 attack, and it cannot be tributed. But, I don't know, like, looking at this archetype, there's a lot of restrictions on it, where it's like, you have to be playing Crystons. Then, like, you can, all their effects are pretty much all, like, once per turn. I don't know how I feel about this deck. Like I said, they need to special summon more from the deck and like to be viable. Again, this is just a few cards. I don't know if this is every single Crystron card, but from what I see, I don't think it's that like, you know, game breaking. I think, you know, Monarchs, Cosmos are still just gonna completely dominate this deck. Like the deck doesn't have stun. It doesn't have like an instant like win condition, so to speak. Like yeah, you're gonna banish all the spell and traps, but if it said like if when it's synchro summon, you're gonna banish all spell and trap and all monsters, then okay, maybe it'll be a little bit better. And then maybe if it attacked like 3 times and it was immune to everything. I know I'm asking for a lot, but again, guys, you have to look at it like if you want to make a deck that is competitive, they really need to have like either stun, OTK, or be able to be super resilient. And the deck doesn't really offer any of those things. But I feel like the Cliffworth card, this will make Cliffworth see even more play because again, it depends on what the new Cliffworth like boss monster we get is. It depends on if we get towers, you know, at multiple. At 1 towers, I don't think it makes like Klee's super strong, but like if you have 2, it makes a huge difference. Again, if some decks only have 1 out to it, you make the other, they scoop it up. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Crystron. That's my thoughts on the Cliffworth down. But you guys let me know in the comment section below. Are you guys excited to play Crystons? Personally, for me, like they don't do anything that new, and like the card effects are like, oh, you can synchro summon during your opponent's turn. Like, I don't know. That's the way I see it. I know you're able to like, you know, if this card is synchro summon, like you're gonna banish everything. If you're playing it to like a specific pendulum deck, but right now, like Monarchs and Cosmos are kind of where it's at, and there's that other trap card that we talked about like a few days ago. That trap card is gonna make Monarchs and Cosmos already stronger than they already are. But yeah, again, that's my thoughts on it. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you guys give that like button a titty slap. And I'm signing out.